Okay, so this is going to be an instructional / overview video of the 2013 Elddis Autoquest 115. First of all, we're going to go around the external of the vehicle and then we will go into the habitation area. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to open the bonnet. Two reasons: one, so you know where the release catch is for the bonnet, and then two, if you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason. So if you open the passenger door, you'll see here at the side of the dash is the bonnet release catch. All you need to do, pull that down once and that will then release. So as you can see, I've now got access to the bonnet area. Like I said, I'm going to show you the terminal points in case you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason. So down here we have your positive terminal point, which would be under this cover. So all you need to do is lift that up. That is your positive terminal point. And then your negative is just down here at this nipple here. Also under here we have got your screen wash fill, which is just in the corner there as well. So now we are going to carry on around the external of the vehicle. At the passenger door, behind this cover here, we have got your diesel fill. All you need to do is use your vehicle blade key and that will access to the diesel tank. The first locker we come to is going to be your gas locker. This vehicle has been fitted with a gas low system. So to fill up the actual gas low, you just need to take this cover off here and connect on at the gas station, and that will obviously fill up the tanks. As you can see in here, we've got two tanks. If you want to turn the gas on, turn it on from the knobs here. We have got your regulator up here, and then we have got a changeover valve. So at the minute I can see the arrow here is pointing to the left hand side tank. So if the left hand side tank goes empty, all I need to do is twist this to the right hand side, turn on the right hand side tank, and that will take a feed from there. Or other than that, you can turn both tanks on and leave it in the middle. Here we've got some extra connections for when you are in obviously main Europe and Spain to fill up as well. If you are on your travels, just make sure you turn the gas off before setting off. As you can see, we have got an electric forward out step, which is controlled just inside the habitation. We have got an awning on this vehicle. On the email you'll get a separate link how to set up and use an awning. Here we have got an external barbecue point. All you need to do, there is a connector for this. You put the connector on, twist it, and then obviously make sure the gas is turned on at the cylinders and the gas will come straight out. So now we are on the driver's side of the habitation. So the first thing I'm going to show you, this is going to be your toilet cassette. So to release your toilet cassette, what you need to do is this orange handle here. You need to lift this up and then pull the cassette towards you. That will then release the toilet cassette. And then if we want to empty / clean our cassette, what we need to do is this orange nozzle here, twist it out to the left, take this grey cap off, and if we want to empty it, tilt the cassette up, put your thumb on the button at the top. That lets air into the top of the cassette so all the fluids flow out a lot faster. Other than that, you can open this blade here with the slide the blade across and open the blade as well with this orange tab, and then obviously you can get a hose pipe and clean internally if needed. When you put your cassette back into place, just align it, push it in, and all we need to do is make sure that this orange tab here is down secure, so then obviously your cassette is not going to move in transit. Directly below the rear axle we have got your freshwater drain valve, and then we have got your grey waste drain valve. One thing on these drain valves is I would use two hands, hold one of the One hand on the pipe, the other hand on the valve, just so they don't spin on you. Same with your grey waste. Directly above that we have got your freshwater fill. So all you need to do is your habitation key, take the cap off, put the hose pipe in. When the water starts to come back out, that means your freshwater tank is completely full. Obviously before you do that you need to shut your freshwater valve down below. At the side of the freshwater tank we have got your external flue. So this is when your boiler is on gas, this is where the fumes exhaust from. So keep that clear at all times because it does get quite hot as well. And then the last compartment we have is going to be your battery. So this is where your leisure battery lives. The other reason you need access in here is obviously, as you can see, I'm connected to mains hookup. So this is where you do connect when you're at campsite. So all you need to do is feed the cable through into this little notch here, and then you can then shut the door with a cable. One thing to remember though is before you set off, make sure you do unplug from the motorhome, because it's hidden on this in effect inside. It's quite easy to forget. So some people do get a list and write it down before they set off. So that is the external of the vehicle. Now we are going to go into the habitation area. So to control the electric step, we just got this button here. What you need to do is just press and hold until the step goes in or out. Here we have a fly screen. So one thing on the fly screen is just obviously if it's windy, just make sure the wind obviously doesn't grab hold of the door and hit the fly screen, because you could damage it. And now we are in the habitation area. So outside of the habitation door we have your 12 volt control panel for the habitation. This is quite self-explanatory. So you've got your, we'll start at the top. So we got, click this down, and that will give you your water level. When you hold it down, the water is currently empty, so it's not going to give me a level. On the left side, that is for your lights internally. This one is your water pump. So you only want to turn your water pump on if you've got water in the system. You don't want to run the pump dry because you will potentially burn out the motor. The next one is your awning / porch light externally. As you can see, I've got it on. You got the master switch. So this turns the control panel completely off or turns it back on. And then the last one you've got, it's a rocker switch. You've got AUX at the top, which is running off your leisure battery, and on this I can move it all the way down and run the habitation off the vehicle battery. You don't really want to run the vehicle off the you don't really want to run the habitation off the vehicle battery, because if you do forget and leave it too long, obviously you will drain your vehicle battery, and then your engine obviously will struggle to start. So always try and keep it on AUX. Here is a light indicator. When you've turned the pump on, it lights up in green saying pump running, and then obviously just above that it says waste full, so this will give you a little light indicator if the waste tank is completely full. So that's all the controls for the habitation area. So here we've got obviously your kitchen area. So we've got your fridge freezer. To release it, just push these tab down and that will then open. And then this is a three-way fridge. So on the right here, this knob is your temperature. On the left hand side, this is your source to run and power the fridge. So you got the top one, which is off. twist it to the right one. Plug socket means connected to mains hookup, so when you're plugged in at campsite. The battery symbol is when the engine is running. When you are travelling around, put it on the battery. And then the last one, if you're off grid, put it onto gas. If you want to light the gas, what you need to do is on your temperature one, if you push this in, this releases the gas, and then the far right you've got an igniter which will then ignite the fridge on gas. You do need to keep this held in for about 30 seconds, and then here you have your gauge if it does ignite and run off gas. Basically when that line goes into green, the fridge is running on gas. So like I say, gas at the bottom is for when you're off grid. Battery is when the engine's running. Plug socket is when you're connected to mains hookup. Top one is completely off. We've got a 3-ring gas burner. One safety thing we do highlight is this glass cover. It's just to keep the glass cover up after use, just because of the temperature difference in the glass, you could potentially shatter it. And then what we're going to do now is prime our water system. So the first thing we need to do in the motorhome to prime our water system with water on the pipework and for the boiler, the first thing we need to do is shut all the valves in the motorhome. So we need to shut a grey waste valve, we need to shut our fresh water valve. Also there is another valve which we will get to in a moment, which is your boiler valve we need to shut. So once all the valves are shut, we can now fill up the fresh water tank completely full. Once the fresh water tank is full, I am going to come to my control panel, turn on the master, and then now I will turn on my water pump because I've got water in the system. That will start pumping water from the fresh water tank, and on here open the tap on cold. Once you get a steady flow through of cold water, the pipe, the cold water side is full, primed, ready to use. If you twist it to the hot side, what this is going to do now, as long as you've shut the valve at the boiler, is water is going to come from your fresh water tank into your boiler. It will fill up around 10 litres of fresh water in the boiler, and then it will start to come back out of the tap. So when your boiler is full of water, it will come through the tap, and then you can shut this tap, and that means your fresh water system is completely primed, ready to use when you need. So now we're going to carry on around in the habitation area. So in this door here we have got your shower room and obviously toilet. So to set up the shower cubicle, you've got a tab at the top and also a tab at the bottom, which you just need to release, and then this shower screen swings around, and then there is a magnetic trim there. Your toilet, if you want to use your toilet, down here there is a grey handle that opens the toilet cassette, so you need to slide that left or right to open the toilet cassette. So open obviously in use, and then shut it so no smells come back up. And then here the blue button is your fresh water flush. So to use your flush you do need to turn on the 12-volt system and have the pump running. And then the little symbol to the side of it, what looks like a toilet cassette, that will light up red when the toilet cassette is full. In here we do have storage, and you've got your removable table strapped in just there. Also in here it is hanging space as well. Directly below that cupboard, this is where your Aldi boiler is. So the only reason you need to come in here is to shut the valve. So as you can see, this valve is a yellow valve. Currently it's in the vertical position, so that means it's open. So basically the water will drain straight out the motorhome if I try and pump the water, or if I want to empty the boiler for winter, it needs to be in the vertical position. To fill up the boiler, all I need to do, knock it down like so. That will then shut the valve, and when I am priming my water system, the water won't drain directly straight out. It will fill the boiler up and obviously come through the tap. We've got more storage space here. We have 240 volt sockets, so the sockets only work on mains hookup because they're 240 volt. 12 volt sockets will work on your leisure battery. In the cupboard above that, we do have an aerial for the TV. To use this, all you need to do is undo the nut there, slide the pole up, and then you can twist the pole as well. And basically this gauge here, currently it's in green, so it's saying I've got good signal, but if it's in red, that means you've got rubbish signal. But when twisting the pole, that try and finds the best signal as well. Also, you can use this winder here, which adjusts the blade as well for the angle from flat to sideways. So you've got lots of storage above, overhead storage all the way around. And then this is your seating area, but also this is where your bed is as well. So to make up your bed, this side pulls out, same on the left hand side, pulls out in the middle and meets. Then all you need to do is the big cushions, move them in, and then the little cushions at the end, you can either put them at the end or put the little ones in the middle. So that is how you make up the full Traverse bed. As you can see, the driver and passenger seats do swivel. To swivel these, this little tab here, all you need to do is pull on that when they are locked in position, and that will release the mechanism. The last thing I'm going to show you is under this bench seat here. I'm going to remove the cushions. This is where your consumer unit is and your 12 volt system. So as you can see, I have now got the bench seat up. There is a bit of storage under here. Just be cautious with some of the pipe work, because obviously that is the ventilation for the heating stuff. So down here, the top one is your main breaker. So that is when you're plugged into campsite. If something trips, you need to check here on the 240 volt side. So that could be the fridge when it's running on obviously 240 volt. Sometimes it's not always this that trips, it's mostly the campsite, because the campsite does reduce the power they give you. And then directly below, as you can see there, that is your 12 volt system. So those are your 12 volt fuses. If one of the appliances goes faulty when running off your leisure battery, you need to check one of these fuses. Also, you might find some of the gas valves like this. These are just internal shut-off valves, so if basically the appliance goes faulty, you can isolate that appliance and still use gas around the motorhome. And as you can see there, when you pull that out, that makes up the bed area in the middle. And then the last thing is going to be your hot water and heating. So here we've got three controls. I'm going to show you as well, this light switch, which I just realised, is actually for the shower room. So this one turns it on in the shower. Above that is your water heater. So as long as you've got water in your boiler, obviously you won't fault it. The left hand side, put it on, that is running off gas. If I left that on because there's no water in there, I will get a red warning light just above there. The right hand side is on electric, so if we're on campsite. Top one is on electric, that's 1 kilowatt. Middle is off, down is on 2 kilowatts. So you can heat your water up on electric only or gas only, or you can do mixed. We can put gas on and electric as well. Above that, we have got your room temperature for your heating. So this is just a turn on dial. Obviously this will speed up the fan, as well as obviously get to the desired temperature you pick. And then the last one is your source for the heating. So you've got a few settings up here. So you've got off, 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatts or 3 kilowatts. So that's when you're at campsite. And then below, you've got off again there in the middle. Below you've got a fan, which is vent, which circulates the ambient air in the vehicle if you just want to circulate the air. And then the last one is gas. So if you're off grid, you turn it on gas. You've got a red light here, which will light up if there's a fault. Green light, which will engage saying it's all running. So the top one is your source for your heater, electric or gas. Next one is your heater room temperature, which is on a dial. And then the bottom one is your heater for the water. So that is the instructional / over video complete of the Elddis Autoquest 115. If you have any more questions, you can leave a comment below, or you can always give us a call or drop us an email.